So,
Eston.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Are you converting to Mac?
No.
No.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Once you get used to it, but it's hard. The learning curve.
Yeah, like Mac has something called GarageBand, which apparently is pretty good for editing.
Okay.
Because Mac's like the whole podcasting scheme, like it all started with like people using Mac basically.
Okay.
Like Mac does a good job of like interfacing and stuff.
Okay.
Plus the video camera is better, right? Like this camera is way better than my computer is horrible.
Okay.
But the only reason I'm using a computer is because I thought of this thing, right?
Right.
Or because normally like a phone would have good camera and it would pick up pretty good sound too. It's just a matter of like converting it more or less at that point. So I don't know.
Right. I have the iPhone X and it's amazing, the videos and the photos that it takes. I can't believe it.
What are you on right now?
Right now I'm on my Mac. It's a MacBook Pro.
Okay. Yeah, okay. This is an error, so whatever that means.
Yeah, it's just the lighter version.
Okay. Like not as heavy?
What's that?
Like not as heavy?
Yeah, it's like the super light version.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So when you're on Zoom, do you have at the bottom like a place where you can just click record? Remember I was telling you how I can't record my meetings?
Mine's in top left.
So you get a top left and you get a record button.
Yeah.
I wonder why I don't have that.
I'll share my screen with you and you'll see.
Okay.
Oh, can you see in the top corner there? No, I guess you just see all my windows open. Never mind, that's not it.
Oh, sorry, I have mine open. Now I just found mine.
Did you? The share button?
Yeah.
Okay, so thought process wise would be like an introduction of you kind of thing. I don't have anything prepared.
Yeah. And I can send you one if you want, because I have a couple of bios. So
okay, that'd be cool. If you can send that to me. So like a bio would be start point, and then I'd like to do like the 5-question thing.
Okay.
And if you, because they're questions that you've chosen based on your workings and your like inner workings and what you've done professionally and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Like most people, I think if they're choosing questions because there's like 90 of them to choose from, they're choosing questions that resonate with them.
Yeah.
Right. So then it's to just basically go on those 5 questions and kind of dive a little deeper into them, I think.
Okay.
That's my thought process. Because like most I'm just thinking of how most podcasts work. This would be a little bit different than that. And that's okay.
Okay. And how do most podcasts work?
Well, if you're being interviewed, it's obviously like a conversation, which I want it to be anyways.
Because I think it's more natural that way. Like it's just a nice way to do it versus like a speech that I'm prepared for. I mean, obviously I'll prepare a little bit for what I want to say, but I think if it comes out in conversation, it's just more natural and more appealing to people.
Yeah. Yeah, it would just be like the questions would be like almost like the format of it. Not necessarily like the driving force, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can always, if something pops in your mind that you're curious about, you can just ask the question and naturally. It's not like the person has to have exactly what they're going to say, because then I think it comes off, I don't know.
Too rehearsed, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Just how to lay it all out, I guess.
And then how long do you want each podcast?
Like like the interviews, no more than half an hour.
Half an hour, okay.
Like I personally like quicker ones. Like I've gotten to the point where I can actually speed up my podcasts and still listen and grab everything.
Okay.
Like at one times it's too slow for me now.
Right.
I have to be like 1.5 or 1.1 time, like 1.7 times.
Right.
personally, but that's just because of
you're training your brain.
right.
I think most people will probably be.
Yeah, but even then, so I'm basically what I'm doing is I'm putting a half-hour one into like 15 minutes.
Right.
That's why I'm thinking half hour, because if you listen at one speed, it's not like it's, I don't know, like longer feels drowning to me.
Okay. I think that's, yeah, I would agree that for most people it is. It just depends who your audience is. You know, if you're looking more, if it's people more my age, we've got like our brains aren't as speeded up by technology. If you're looking your age or, you know, Corey's age, my son is like, the brains go like a lot faster.
Right.
They can process information and there's less patience. You know, people want to know, like, give it to me in 2 minutes. Like, I don't want to waste an hour.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do you know what those questions were, just out of curiosity?
No.
Okay.
Like they were related to fear.
Yeah, I know. I remember reading a couple that you wrote.
Fear, story. And I think like the main theme is living courageously, right? Because I think to tie in all your themes, like there probably has to be one main question that everybody gets around the living courageously, right? If that's what your topic is.
Yeah, that was my like question at the end. Like a lot of podcasts will say like, what's the impact you want to have on the world, or like questions like that. So that was kind of going to be my final question would be, if you could inspire someone to live a courageous life, what would that look like? Something like that. So yeah, that would be like, that's part of my intro too, which I have on my other computer, but it just basically talks about what the podcast is all about.
Right.
Right. And I don't have that right up on me right now, but I can send it to you and see what you think about it.
Sure.
See if it makes sense to how I want to tie in the interview things, because they're not all interviews. Like I want to have a segment that's just me talking about this question.
Right.
Right. But then the interviews are kind of based around multiple questions based on what you do and also how it ties back to live courageously.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
I lost my little, oh God, Macs are a pain in the ass.
You'll love it once you get used to it, I'm telling you.
God.
I had got a MacBook Air about 8 or 9 years ago, and I tried to switch over, and I was like, no, screw it, I'm not doing it. And then my computer died, and then Matt gave me this MacBook Pro, and I'm just like, okay, I
have to try again.
So.
Like my little, a little bar that you move on Facebook?
Yeah.
It's gone.
Oh.
Like within our chat box.
Okay.
How the hell am I supposed to find things in the chat box? What?
You're recording now.
I know.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
That was on purpose. I wanted to hear that, yeah.
So are you gonna
okay.
Are you gonna edit the podcasts before airing them? Or are they just kind of going straight up?
No, they'd be edited.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. They'd be edited to have my intro thing into it with like intro music.
And you might cut parts out if it's too long or on and on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't played with that yet, obviously, because I have to do one first.
Yeah.
Or a few first.
Then you were saying you were planning to kind of schedule everybody and do kind of a one after the other, get all your recording done in like a week, and then kind of edit for a couple of weeks, and then start rolling it out.
Exactly. Yeah. So the plan is to have 3 a week, and one of those would be an interview one.
Okay, like once you're rolling it out.
Right.
Yeah, because I think if you're interviewing, I don't know, 15, 20 people in a week, it'd be a lot better for you, not just time-wise, but you really get into the flow of it.
Yes.
So get into the questions, you kind of start piecing things together, seeing whose stuff goes with whose, and, start seeing the themes better versus if you're interviewing, 2 people a week and then putting it together in 6 months from now.
Yeah. No, I like what you said too about like the the themes of it all, like talk about fear and story, and then next week more focused around like, I don't know, gratitude and awareness, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, bunch them up.
Yeah. So would that be something that I would like, that I should bunch up now and kind of go out to the interviewee and say like,
yeah, see, I'm the type of person that I kind of trust in the universe. So I would book everybody in. I do
just run with it.
And then I would find the themes, and then
okay.
And you might find even people like they're coming in to talk about something, and then they might talk more about something else, and it then fits somewhere else. And does it really matter? Because you can play around with it as you please. And then once you have your themes, let's say you wanted to do the 7-day challenges, or you wanted to have seven podcasts in each theme, or whatever the case might be. And after you do all your interviews, well, you find that you only have 5 in this category and you have, I don't know, 8 somewhere else, then you can find people and decide what you want to do with it.
True.
And then if one of the podcasts doesn't really fit, you can use it for something else.
No, you're very right on that. Okay. I'm just looking at this list of questions. Wow, there's a lot. What there was like 90 or something. Yeah. No, there's more than that. It's like 45, and then another. Yeah, it's like 100 and some. What has fear costed you? Was that one of yours?
That might have been one, yeah.
There was a few fear ones. Anyways.
Yeah, I think it was like I could go back and pick out the 5, but I think I had just wrote you back saying anything related to fear and story.
That sounds familiar, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, the fear and story. Cool.
Yeah, and really consider getting Sandy in on gratitude.
Yeah, I'd messaged her about it. So
good, because she has a really she did you might have seen it, but she did a TEDx on 3 small words.
Okay.
And it's a really good talk. So and she's such a good speaker. Like she's the highest level of Toastmaster that you can be.
Cool.
And she's very good at speaking just off the cuff and having powerful messages
come through. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll just test a few.
All right.
Thanks. So if you can send me a bio then.
Sure, I'll do that.
That'd be good. And then I'll look at the questions again and send you a message based on the fear story things. Mm-hmm. And then if you have something later this week, I can organize better and try again if you want. It'll be a lot more structured, or not structured, but like organized in terms of.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is more just to get the audio, video, and kind of, because you might want to change things in terms of like, I think your lighting is really good. And that's like, will you have people in their own homes doing this by Zoom, or are you going to have them come in and talk to you?
No, they'll be in their own homes. So okay. I'm recording for the purpose of, 2 reasons is I can then post this to YouTube. And then the recording is for the audio part for the podcast aspect of it.
Okay.
So there'll be instances or even like Facebook, right? Because you can post your Zoom call on Facebook.
Right. Okay.
But it's just basically to have a face to the name kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then to drive traffic that way.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. First one was, are you judging your own story?
Wow. These are really big questions.
Hey?
I said, these are really big questions.
I know they are. I don't know where they came from either. They just came from me.
Okay. Because I think that for mine, I think I'll tweak the questions a little bit just so that I can ease them into them. Because if you ask, are you judging your own story? I kind of feel like I haven't told any of my story. So it's kind of jumping into the middle of something. So I don't know if there's a question like that kind of leads up to the other question. Okay. So like I'm wondering if I would maybe put a lead question in there for you to ask me, tell me a little bit about your story or something like that, where you kind of get the person just at least giving a kind of a preamble of what they're going to be talking about. Because I said, if you say, are you judging your own story? I don't think even people listening might not know what you mean by your story, or
Right.
So I might want to just, when you say something to me, like, when I say the word story, what does that mean to you? Or, it's something just that kind of,
like a way to get into it.
Like, I think if you're doing something on gratitude or fear, it's probably easier than something that's a concept that a lot of people may never have heard of or not really understand the world of story and what that means and how we create stories about who we are and what we are and how we're going to live.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think for me anyways, I'll probably just get back to you later today with kind of my 5 questions.
Okay.
So that, and you can throw stuff in the middle. I'm just thinking that it would be easier for me anyway and make more sense for the viewer.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you can lead up into a question like, what if it's only ever been a story?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Once you have that framework around it.
Yeah.
And then people are like, okay, story is my conditioning, it's my programming, it's the stories it's the things that other people told me that I chose to accept.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It's almost like a bit of a frame around that one.
Right.
Yeah. Or even if you're saying one on fear, how has fear controlled your life? Or maybe it's, you start out with, what does fear mean to you and how has that affected you in your life? Just kind of because I think fear is something everybody can relate to, whereas the world of story is a concept that some people don't know.
Yeah.
They know that they're stuck in their own story. They don't know that it's a story. They've never even heard that.
Yeah, it's a little more conscious level for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas fear,
which is probably most of your viewers, but
yeah, no, I get it. I completely agree. Plus, when you say, like, I've had people say that to me before, like, what's a story? Like, what does that mean, right? And it's like, okay, then I go into like, okay, it's your conditioning, your programming. It's the fact that between the ages of 0 to 7, it's all just hypnotic, and you just, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
you're being imprinted with all this different data, different ways of values and ways to see the world.
Exactly.
And that's where story comes from.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, okay, cool. So do you want to look through the list again and find things, or do you want me to send you things and you can kind of dive?
I was wondering, I have the list somewhere, but maybe, do you have it close by, like where you could just send it to me?
I have it on my other computer. I have the whole list, yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to see if it's close by. I'm trying to see if I've had lots of conversation with you since then.
You would have downloaded it.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think what I'll do then, I'll just kind of send you an email with my 5 questions.
Okay.
And then my bio.
Okay.
And then, because what you're going to do then is you're going to be saying something like, well, I've got Lise Leblanc here with me on my Living Courageously. Today's podcast on whatever fear or whatever it's about. Lise is this, that, and that, and met way or whatever, however your introduction goes. And then you welcome me and throw out the first question kind of thing. Is that how you're seeing? Yeah. Okay. So then I would give you those those questions, and then the first one will be a question that allows me to kind of say
yourself in there.
Yeah, kind of lets me ease into it and say a little bit about who I am, what my story is, how the world of story, what it means, and whatever like that leads into the next questions kind of thing. And then I think it's really good if you think of things as the interview's going, that you just throw in, some natural questions and some
that'll be easy for sure.
Conversation. I think that's really good as well. Most people will be able to just have a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, that works well for me then.
Yeah. And, you might want to consider when you're booking your times with people, to take 15 minutes before you start recording, or 10 minutes, to really kind of walk the person through.
Yeah, good idea.
Just because a lot of people don't do podcasts, and they're nervous, or they don't really know what to expect. And I think that would be really helpful to kind of walk them through it and let them know how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I love that idea. Thank you. Plus, you get rid of all like the little kinks and stuff in your own computer issues and whatnot.
Yeah, and you'll do like your first four or five, and then you're going to get comfortable, and that's going to make the other comfortable. So as you're booking your people, try and book the more experienced people that will talk more easily and naturally, so that they kind of,
flow it for you.
Help flow it anyways. And then when you have the less experience, then you're feeling comfortable and confident. And, so if, Matt's always really good, Sandy would be really good, Penny, me, and I'm sure you've got a whole list of people that do have experience with public speaking, but the ones with more experience, maybe try and get them in first, and that puts it takes some pressure off of you, and then gets you comfortable. And then, the ones that have no experience and are nervous will get your vibe of feeling confident,
Yeah. I just want to see if you see that? The chat? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I know, that's cool.
I've used this before, but I can play around with things.
Yeah, I've never used the chat box.
No?
No.
Have you used the share? You probably use the share button, eh?
Okay, one sec. There we go.
That was private.
Oh.
Or that was just to me versus to everyone.
Oh, and how do you do it? How do you send it to everyone?
A little click thing right beside the two. There's a click. Everyone, please.
Oh, there. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, you can block it so it's like host only. There you go. Yeah, because I'm gonna do a couple of I'm gonna do one and then just have it like an automatic thing, but for the healthy, wealthy, and wise too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing that I'm building, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Actually, what I want to do there is just have every Sunday have a Zoom chat for people that might be interested in the program, kind of thing.
Yeah, a live thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a live thing where I switch between me, like a video of me versus the video of the screen.
Right. Yeah. So that's what you're saying about the share screen here?
Yeah, because I have it would be a PowerPoint. I don't have it on this computer, obviously, but
yeah.
I could open up like the Facebook, for example, but it would actually be like the other thing, right?
Oh, so whatever's on your screen. And what did you press to do that? Just
the share.
And then what did you do?
Then you just click whichever thing you want to look at. So
mine says whiteboard, iPhone,
iPad, welcome to numbers, whatever the heck that is, Google Chrome, like whatever thing you have open.
Oh, so if I had like a PowerPoint open, that would be available there. And then you just go back and forth with your share button. Oh, that's cool. Well, thanks for the lesson.
No problem.
I just started using Zoom, and I have only really used it for webinars.
Okay.
And I couldn't figure out how to record it. And I was, anyways, whatever.
My difficulty was finding the link. Like I found invite, and I could copy the URL and do it that way.
Oh yeah, okay. And then inside it.
Yeah, but you can also schedule them too, right?
Yeah.
So I used to schedule them and found the link, but I couldn't find it today, but it doesn't matter. I'll find it.
Okay.
Choose this virtual background. Oh, interesting. Anyways, play around with stuff. All right. Thank you. That's all for now.
Wanted to do?
Pardon?
Was there anything else you wanted to do?
No, that's good. At least we have the idea of where we want to go, and then we'll set a date to try it again sometime later in the week or whatever works for you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to send that to you today.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
All right. See ya.
Bye.